What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from Post Rock Pro. I'm here with Chelsea from Violette from Baltimore, Maryland. How's it going, Chelsea?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Really appreciate you coming on. Let's jump right into it. So, when and how did you start up Violet?
So I was in a band called Dreamcatcher for a while. And as we started to kind of phase into a different style, and we kind of always battled a lot of like people in and out of the project kind of situations. And as we started kind of diving into the music that I was like really enjoying starting to create, it just kind of seemed like it was time to step away and move forward on my own little path. So that's kind of what brought me here, and all of that, a change in sound and just a change of direction. And of course, with the blessing of those guys, we kind of just kind of pushed forward alone.
Very cool. So, you just released a new song called "Fall Apart." How's the response been?
It's been really good. I made it during the pandemic in my house. So I have a whole EP coming out that hardly anyone has even gotten a glimpse of. I haven't played any of the songs live. It's kind of just been really under wraps, and only like a few people have really heard it. So to finally have it out there and for people to be really kind of seeming to dig what I'm doing is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who did you record it with, and how was the process?
So I recorded it, like I said, in my home studio. It's just me and my partner Brian, who was also in Dreamcatcher with me. The two of us have kind of continued to work together with Violet with writing and producing, and so this is our first time kind of with him really driving the ship and me kind of having full authority to do as I wanted and everything like that. So it's just us here in our apartment in Baltimore.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, you're from Baltimore, Maryland. How's the music scene? Do you have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
Baltimore is a really cool, eclectic kind of scene, and there's lots of different like little pockets to it, which is really fun because you might think you know everybody in like one scene, and it turns out that there's a whole nother one that you don't know, but you kind of know. The old Smaltimore saying, really kind of comes to mind with that kind of stuff. Um, but as far as favorite local bands, probably Birthright, because those are some really good friends of mine, kind of more like Every Time I Die, post-hardcore kind of thing. um and then favorite venue is probably the Auto Bar. I think that's my favorite one to play, favorite one to go to shows at. That one feels just, that's Baltimore in a venue. Like there, you can't get more Baltimore than that one.
I love Auto Bar. Auto Bar is one of my favorite venues.
Yeah.
Birthright's a good band.
Yep. Yeah, I've had the privilege to play that stage with those guys, and there's really nothing better than that.
That's sick. So, who are your biggest influences?
With this project, it's kind of all over the place. Anything from like Alanis Morissette to the Japanese House to Bon Iver. I'm kind of really into a little bit of everything, and I like experimenting with anything from like an indie rock or indie pop genre into like some hip hop or modern pop kind of stuff too.
Keeping things interesting.
Yep, I try to.
I can relate.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to have any boundaries, because this is a new project. There's no rules, and I'm able to explore things without having to, get group approval or anything like that. And so it's been really fun to just be able to, okay, cool, I'm feeling this way today. Let's pursue this. And then, I've had things that have kind of seemed more like indie pop turn into something that's a little bit more harsh and like Fanagram. And then I've had those kind of ideas turn into something like Fall Apart.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you. Did this with the other artists and bands that I interviewed. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First one, favorite movie.
Favorite movie, Kill Bill 1.
I haven't seen it. I've heard good things
Really?
about it.
I hadn't seen it until the pandemic, and everyone always talked so much about Kill Bill and the hype. And I'm like, I've seen bits and pieces, but I watched 1 and 2, and I was like, oh my God, what was I doing not watching it?
Isn't Cameron Diaz in that movie?
Um, I don't know.
Or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
I mean, it's Uma Thurman in the lead. I can't remember.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yep, gotta love Uma Thurman.
She was great in Batman.
Oh yeah, yep. That's one of my.
Ivy.
Yep, that's my favorite Batman movie. I get a lot of flack for that, but it's so.
I think that's the best Batman. That one and the Dark Knight are the two best Batman movies. The other ones are eh.
Yep, I'm 110% with you.
Would you rather hang with pirates or ninjas for a weekend?
Ooh, ninjas.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why is
martial arts.
that?
Martial arts. It seems more fun. It seems like you can get a little bit more out of that. I think being a ninja has a little bit more spirituality with it, a little bit more of a calm stealthiness.
Right.
I don't know if I'm much of a swashbuckler myself.
Not a big fan of rum and looking for gold and
I mean, that's not bad either, but the ninjas have cool outfits and sometimes you get swords.
true. So if you could go back in time and talk to one world leader or person of influence, who would it be?
Ooh, I think JFK. You know, I think I just want to know a little bit more about what he really would have done. He seemed like kind of one of those guys who I wish would have had a little bit more time with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Gone too soon.
Yep.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Oh man, that is a really good question. Anything mental health related, I think is where I would put it. I think that's something that um in the year 2021, luckily we're talking about it a little bit more and less like a joke. But I think there's a long way to go to kind of break that stigma and to make it something to where like asking how are you can be a little less superficial and a little bit more in depth.
Very cool. Now this is a music question. If you go on tour with one big band, who would it be?
Ooh, the Japanese or no, the 1975.
That's a good one.
I think that'd be the one.
Very cool. If you could be fluent in another language instantly, which one?
French. French. I love their culture and their food and their wine, and I feel like if I learned French, they might like me more.
Have you been to France?
I have not. That's on my must-do list.
I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend hitting up Paris and Lille.
Yeah.
Both cities are awesome. People are awesome. It was just really awesome to hear the French language all the time, and the food's great and tons of history there. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, that's definitely an aim for mine. I definitely want to spend a lot of time there.
Maybe tour there.
That is the ultimate dream. That in England.
Definitely recommend England too.
Yeah. Yep, I'm huge on England. I love their tea, I love their sports, I love their music. Like I think I belong there over the States. Just with my interest and everything like that. But
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite soccer team?
I'm an Everton football fan.
Oh man, actually, you know what? It could be worse. You could be a Man United or a Man City fan. I'm a Arsenal fan.
Okay, you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, they're terrible right now. I'll admit it. I mean, they're rebuilding and they got a lot of stuff to figure out, but got to stay loyal, right?
Yep, I'm with you. We're not exactly in the most wonderful of places, my club either, but it's fun. It's fun to watch and like to pay attention to, and like the drama of the transfer window and all of that, and just the sporting over there, it being like a relegation and that kind of stuff. Like we don't have that in the States, and that kind of tradition and like just sport is like there's just something a little extra on the line when they're playing and everything. So
Oh, for sure. Do you have a favorite player?
favorite player, Richarlison.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Our
he's pretty
Brazilian
good.
forward. Yeah, I love watching him. I've been watching the Copa America tournament and him in Brazil just killing it. And watching him play for Brazil is it's beautiful.
That's awesome. Did you watch the England and Denmark game yesterday?
Yep, I did watch that one yesterday. It's coming home, I think.
I think so too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little controversial. I'll admit it, but hey, I'll take a W.
Yep. A win's
Any
a win.
way I can get it.
Absolutely.
All right. Last question. What are some places in Baltimore that visitors should check out?
My favorite place right now is a little cafe called Cafe Los Sueños. It's in the Remington neighborhood. It's this wonderful coffee place. They roast it themselves, and it's probably the best bag of beans I've ever had. So there, and then if you can catch a show at Auto Bar, that's my next recommendation. Those are the two must-dos in my opinion.
I second that.
Yep.
The auto bar is great. The sidebar is great.
Yep, Sidebar's killer. That's a fun little dive, and I've played so many really cool, fun shows there.
And then the what is it? The Wrecker in Towson,
Yep, that
not
just
too far away.
yep, that just came back. I think at the tail end of the pandemic that started coming back. So I can't wait to get on that stage again.
For sure. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting it up. It was great getting to know you, and I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a great one.
You too.
See ya.